Welcome guys, back here again for another video. This time it is for, as you can probably see behind me, the NXT Takeover Brooklyn pay-per-view special event, whatever you want to call it. It was awesome, that's all I'm going to say straight off. So yeah, I just finished watching it live here in Sydney, Australia. So direct feed live to the WWE network, and holy crap, it's always a special treat to be able to watch it live on a weekend here in Australia, because most of the pay-per-views, you know, all the WWE ones, they air on a Monday. But however, this one, NXT pay-per-view, live from Brooklyn, New York, straight to Australia on a nice Sunday. It's a bit cold and rainy outside, you can't see it, but here you go. Crappy weather, but perfect for watching a bit of wrestling. Okay, so let's start things off. So, 2-hour event, which sucks, I know, we wanted it 3 hours, but it was in a proper full packed out arena. And it went about 20 minutes overtime, which is awesome because it's on the network. They don't have a real strict, I guess, timeline, so they don't have to cut it because there's network programming after it. So it was perfect, you know, we get a bit extra. So let's start it off with, as you can tell, I'm talking really fast than I usually do. It's probably not even that fast, but I am really excited and still pumped from that event. Just got the replay playing in the background because, you know, you can never have too much wrestling. So first match to start off with was Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger, and holy crap, that was awesome. Probably one of the best matches on the card, but to be honest, all the matches were awesome. But yeah, it started out, Tyler Breeze had his, like his last takeover appearance where he had, you know, the models come out, and he comes out and he takes a selfie with all of them, you know, and it had the summer collection of fashion, and it looked really good. And you know, typical Tyler Breeze, he's just awesome. And then you had Jushin Thunder Liger come out, and you know, everyone went nuts. And I mean, this guy's been doing it forever, and he's one of the best. So the matchup starts, and you know, Tyler Breeze just gets the bad hand at the start, you know, pops up on the top rope, does his little pose. Then Jushin Thunder Liger does a move of his own, then jumps up and mocks Tyler Breeze. So that was funny. And, you know, back and forth, but a lot of awesome submissions from Liger. A lot of unique moves from Tyler Breeze. Just really good back and forth. It was just awesome, you know, just great moves, great paced match, you know, great selling from Liger outside of the crowd. You know, he's doing these ones, and a bit Hulk Hogan reminiscent, but you know, it was awesome. So great start to the pay-per-view, and I think, if I had to give that a rating, like for an opening match, that was close to a 10 out of 10 to get the crowd started. That was such a match. So second match came on, I can't even remember, I'm still just hazy from the title match that we just saw, and especially the women's title match. But I'm pretty sure it was Apollo Crews versus Ty Dillinger. Now, I find this weird that you'd put Ty Dillinger against Apollo Crews, because Ty's just come out with his new 10, his new basic character. His new character's come out, and, you know, he got, you know, a good showing on NXT recently, but are you going to have him lose already? Like, I don't know, this guy can't catch a break. But anyway, Apollo Crews came out, and surprisingly they made Ty show off a lot of his work, and it was more Ty, you know, in the start of the match, and then Apollo Crews sort of coming towards the end. And it's funny because Apollo Crews, his finisher is much like Ultimate Warrior, the Gorilla Press, but instead of running and, you know, doing the splash, he just does a standing moonsault, basically, or a standing shooting star. I can't even remember what it was. And then that's his finisher. So it's a two-part like the Ultimate Warrior, but it's showing that the big guys now can have a bit of that, you know, that cruiserweight flair, I guess. So it was really good. So it was a good showing. You know, obviously we want to see more of his stuff, and everyone knew who he was. Everyone's going, ooh-ha, ooh-ha, you know, all pumped up. So yeah, that was a good match, but I mean, the opening match was too good to top straight off the bat. Next up, we had Alexa Bliss with Blake and Murphy versus the Vaudevillains for the NXT Tag Championship. And so Aiden English and Simon Gotch came out, and they had the coats on and the top hats, and they look really cool and really good entrance. And they didn't have a female valet with them, which everyone was like, okay, how are they going to do this with Alexa Bliss? And everyone was chanting blue pants, so nothing happened. So out come Blake and Murphy with Alexa. I could be getting this wrong. I think Alexa and Blake and Murphy came out first. Which they had a bit of a change up in their outfit. They had a very Iron Man themed look. So they had the red, white, and the gold. And, what is it? Is it Buddy Murphy or Wesley Blake? One of them, I think it's Wesley Blake. He had the underwear on, which is different because they both usually wear the matching pants. So they changed it up a little bit. You know, it's these little things that, you know, keep it spiced up. So anyway, Alexa cut a promo. Very heel fashion. She's like, oh, you know, where's your partner? You got no one to back you up. Oh, boo-hoo, you guys are pathetic. And then everyone's just chanting, we want blue pants, we want blue pants. And I mean, Aiden English and Simon Gotch, they're wearing the blue already. They've got the same colour pants as blue pants, basically. And then all of a sudden, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. You got the Colin Cassidy theme song there. So all blue pants comes out, everyone's going nuts. So she's in the corner of the Vaudevillains. So straight off, this match is awesome. Back and forward, you know, crazy. You know, just back and forward. You're just like, who's going to win? Who's going to win? And it came to a point where Aiden English hit his Swanton Bomb, Senton Bomb, whatever you want to call it these days. And it was a kick out. And we're like, oh, holy crap, maybe they're going to lose. And then Alexa Bliss comes. She tries to start something. Blue Pants comes. A bit of back and forward. Alexa gets in the ring, pushes Blue Pants off, and you're like, oh crap, no, not again. Buddy Murphy gets the, what is it? He gets the schoolboy on Simon Gotch, and you're like, no, not again, not a repeat. 1, 2, kicks out. Then all of a sudden Simon Gotch gives that big uppercut. Aiden English comes in with a neck breaker. 1, 2, 3, we've got new tag team champions, and everyone went nuts. So that was really awesome. So I'm hoping Blue Pants is more than just a one-off thing. I hope that she actually does get to be with the Vaudevillains and they give her a sort of a new outfit. I mean, you can't call it Blue Pants as much as it's funny. You got to take her character serious because she's an awesome wrestler. So yeah, that was that tag team title match, and you know, new champions always a fun thing, especially since they've had the face turn. So that's a good. You know, a good sort of middle chunk match. So next up we had Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin. And as much as people are going to like hate me for this, I don't really give a crap about Samoa Joe, to be honest. Like, he has a very old school style of attacking. Like when he does his punches and his chops, it just looks really fake. I mean, you know, we all know this is choreographed, but it's like he doesn't put any effort. Half of the punches are missing some of the time. Now, I know that's blasphemy. He does some good moves, you know, he's athletic and all that stuff, but I don't know, he's just not for me. He's just boring. I do like his entrance music, but that's about it. As for Baron Corbin, I love his entrance, I love his gimmick. He's not so great at the wrestling at the moment. Like, he's known for his, like, 30-second matches. And his moveset hasn't been the best, but he did throw off a couple of really good matches. He threw off a couple of really good moves in this match, and there was a little bit of a brawling match in during the segment where they were just punching each other back and forth, and it was really cool. But I just thought Baron Corbin should have got the win, because what are they doing with Samoa Joe? Are they going to put him up to main roster? Like, is he another Rhino? Is he here just to sort of better people? Because that's what I thought he was doing, but it seems like he's not, because he got the win. Now, you're building up Baron Corbin so much, and then you just have him lose to Samoa Joe. He's had like 3 matches in NXT, and yeah, he's had like, what, 16 years of experience, but who cares? Like, you know, WWE didn't want him back then. Why all of a sudden they're going to come in and make him ruin one of their upcoming... I don't know. I'll just leave it at that, because I'll cause too much crap with everyone. But I think Baron Corbin should have won, but Samoa Joe choked him out. I do think that was a good way to end it, though, because having the submission where he didn't tap out. He just, you know, he just passed out, and then he wakes up. He's like, "What happened? What are you doing?" You know, so that was a good way to show, like, oh, he didn't get his ass kicked and pinned. So I'll give it that. So the next matchup, which was the greatest NXT Women's Championship match. Well, it's hard to say, actually. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch was pretty damn amazing. Also, Emma versus Paige. But just having this in that massive arena with all the crowd, and just, it had that real main event feel. Like, it was NXT's WrestleMania moment. Like, that's what it felt like. Oh, and not to mention, there was heaps of guests in the crowd. I mean, Seth Rollins front row, you had Hall, Nash, X-Pac, you had Rick Rubin, you had just a bunch of celebrities and wrestlers in the crowd, so it hyped it up as well, you know, what you usually see at a pay-per-view. So, Bayley comes out, and, you know, she's got a little Dusty Rhodes headband and little Dusty Rhodes armbands, and, yeah, it was a nice tribute there, and the crowd just loves Bayley. I know there's a lot of people who don't like her. Some of the stuff she can do is a bit botchy, but, you know, she wants it. She's got that passion, you can tell. And then Sasha Banks comes out, or Sasha Banks, as people say. She comes out in, like, this souped up, like, friggin' four-wheel drive car, whatever it is. And she's got 4 bodyguards, and, you know, play up her entrance a bit more. So that was awesome. As you can see behind, we've got the replay starting again. There's Tyler Breeze's entrance. So Sasha Banks, you know, good entrance, and they're getting each other's face, you know, and she's like, "Oh, you're nothing." They had a good promo vid at the start as well, saying like Becky was the one, Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha were the ones who made it to the main roster, and you had Bayley who was left out. So the 4 horsewomen became the 3. So the video was a bit confusing because it kind of would be what you'd do for a heel. You know, you'd have Bayley be like, "I was excluded, you know, how dare they do this to me?" So it was weird. I thought, well, what are they doing? Are they going to make her a villain in this match? But it worked anyway. I mean, it was a good promo, a good package there, but just a bit weird. I mean, so anyway, moving on. Whew, holy crap. I can't even talk properly. That match was amazing. Some of the moves that they were doing, you were just like, holy crap, they're going to kill themselves. One part of the match, you had Bayley on the outside, and you had the ref, and he sort of said to Sasha, you know, back off. And he's doing the count right against the ropes, you know, he's up there, and he's like, 1, 2, and he's sort of bent over. Sasha Banks just goes, friggin' flips over the ref, bang onto the outside onto Bayley. Awesome. It was just crazy, you know. And then just a lot of back and forward. Bayley hit her is it Bayley to belly or belly to Bayley? Her suplex, and 1, 2 kick out, and you're like, oh, holy crap, awesome. Then you had Sasha do the bank statement, but not the actual move into the submission, just the submission. And you got Bayley crawling to the ropes. And by the way, I have to say, throughout the match, she was doing some crazy stuff to Bayley's hand. She ripped off all the tape. She had it in between the staircase and smashed the staircase into it. She was like stepping on it. It's just brutal. So when she had the submission on, you know, Bayley's crawling. She's crawling to the rope. She goes for the rope, and Sasha just like pulls her arm back and just starts like stepping on it and stuff. And then Bayley has to go and get the other arm. Finally gets it. As she grabs it, Sasha rolls, and Bayley ends up doing the submission back to her and getting the crossface and like really yanking it, and that looked really awesome. And then, you know, a bit of back and forward, went up to the top rope, and Bayley's trying to do what she did to Charlotte with the Bayley to belly off the top rope, and that got reversed. Now, I don't know if this was a botch or it was meant to happen, but it looked like Bayley was going to go for, you know, Frankenstein off the top rope, but I don't know if Sasha pushed her. I'll have to rewatch it, but it's like she went for it and she missed, but it was a push at the same time, and Bayley just landed really nasty. So that was pretty brutal, but it worked effectively because she sort of rolled over, and then I'm just going to do this. She's on the ground and she sits up, and then Sasha, bang, with her knees just on the shoulders, pins her down. That was an awesome move. And yeah, you're just like, holy shit, this is just... And the match was like 25 minutes long. It was just kept going and going and going. Anyway, so Bayley gets on the recovery, throws her to the top rope, throws her to the ropes, puts her on the top rope, and she's got her facing backwards, and you're like, okay, what's she gonna do? Like a back body drop or something like that? But no, she freaking does a reverse Frankensteiner to perfection. It was amazing. Sasha sold that so well. She landed perfect. It just looked beautiful. Like, holy crap, that move was insane. And then just straight after, everyone's like, holy crap. And then Bayley just delivers a brutal Bayley to belly suplex. Like, the height she got on it, it was amazing. 1, 2, 3, wins the match. New NXT champion Bayley. And then you've got Becky Lynch and Charlotte. They run out and they're all hugging and stuff. And you're like, okay, that's awesome, that's awesome. Sasha Banks gets in the ring, just straight up to Bayley, just a big hug. And then you've got the four horsewomen, the four. And then they're all hugging, and it was very reminiscent of the Click moment. You know, when you had Hunter, Shawn, Nash and Hall, and, you know, they're all doing the hug. And it's funny because you had them in the crowd as well. And it was very reminiscent of that, and it was awesome. You know, it's hard because they broke, I mean, they break kayfabe all the time, but they broke it on an event that was just before SummerSlam. Now, SummerSlam, you know, is the WWE product where Sasha is against Charlotte and Becky Lynch. They're on two different teams. But who cares? Who cares? It was emotional, made me teary-eyed. It was freaking awesome. They're all hugging. You know, that is women's wrestling. Everyone's chanting, this is wrestling. Because they're no longer divas, they're women's wrestlers. Divas are a thing of the past. You don't want to watch just to see them parade around half naked. You want to see them because they're skilled, talented athletes. And they friggin' delivered. And everyone on Twitter was just going nuts. How are you going to top that? How's the main event going to top it? We were already like 10 minutes before the pay-per-view was supposed to end after that match ended. It was just like, holy crap. So, Kevin Owens comes out. You know, he's just got a straight up, you know, walk through the ring. He doesn't really have much of a entrance, but that's what he wants. He's a heel. He's not trying to show off to the crowd. He's trying to be like, screw you guys. And Finn's entrance, always spectacular, always like, what's he going to look like? What's going to be on his costume? So the smoke rises, and you see him pop up, and you're like, whoa, there he is. And then all of a sudden, at the other side of the other side of the entrance ramp, he pops up. And you're like, what the fuck? How did he do that? And then another one pops up. So they had a few people dressed up like him for a bit of mind games popping up. And then he comes up, and, you know, he's just doing his crawl out. And the NXT Championship's just sort of sitting there with a spotlight on it. And he crawls up to it and he just grabs it like that. It's awesome. Little touches, you know, it just makes it really cool. So he grabs the championship and he, you know, finishes his entrance and everyone's just going nuts. And it's cool because he's still doing the too sweet sign and you got Hall and Nash there. It's awesome. So the match was, to me, it felt a bit rushed. Because obviously they would have had time cut because of the previous matches going a bit overtime, but they still delivered. I mean, there was some brutal things. Kevin Owens. So normally you land. There's the ladder. You know, it bends that way. They land flat on it. So imagine the ladder this way. Kevin Owens fell right in the middle of it, so his shoulders just went bang on both sides of the ladder. That looked brutal as hell. Then he had Finn in the corner, and he does his rolling senton. Finn moves out of the way, bang, straight on the ladder. You're like, fuck, holy shit. You know, Finn did a drop kick to kick it. Finn got tossed over the announce table. Just crazy stuff. Then they're on top of the... well, he actually hit the coup de grace, like, midway through the match. But that makes sense, because you think, how are you going to keep someone down for, like, a 10-second count? Because, you know... I mean, usually there is a kick out in these big events from your finishing move, but it came so quick it was just a bit weird. But anyway, so Finn was on the ladder and he jumps off and Owens just catches him, bang, straight into the powerbomb, and it was brutal as shit and awesome. And okay, back and forth, he gets back up, tips him over. I'm probably getting this all scattered because, as I said, I'm still just like stoked from that women's match and the whole pay-per-view in general. But there was one period when they're on the outside and Owens goes to do the powerbomb to the apron. You're like, oh, he's going to do it. And you thought, you know, Finn reverses it, and you're like, oh, okay, he's not going to do it. But then, bang, he gets it, and you're just like, holy shit, he got it. Owens might actually win. And just before, you know, Finn comes in, pushes him off, and Kevin Owens just starts beating him. He's like, why don't you stay down? Gives him a super kick. Gives him another mini super kick as he's on his knees. And he sets up the ladder, so you got one ladder, I can't even do it with my hands, one ladder standing, and he puts one sort of in between there and the ring post. And he's going to do his crazy suplex off the top. He drags Finn up the ladder, and he's going to go do his crazy suplex off it. And, you know, Finn's reversing, and then Finn just pushes him down. And normally, people, when they land on the ladder, they just go, and they sort of just stay there. But Owens just went bang, straight off. Like, the replay, it looked like his head just smashed it, looked brutal. I'm thinking, holy shit, this guy's got a match at SummerSlam with Cesaro, and he's just had this brutal ladder match. What the hell? This guy's insane. And Finn climbs the ladder, and Owens is like rolled over and all that, and he's trying to get the title, and he can't reach it. So what does he do? Climbs up to the top of the ladder, bang, coup de grace off the ladder. It was brutal, it was awesome. Still don't know how he jumps on someone without killing them or breaking all their bones, because I still don't know how that works, and I don't want to try it because it's pretty brutal. So he gets up and he wins the title, and they pretty much showed the replay, the whole match, how good all those spots were, because there was a lot of crazy spots. So it was amazing. Only thing, I would have liked it to have gone a bit longer, but honestly, it was all about the women. I mean, that match was amazing that they had, and that's where it needs to be. I mean, everyone loves Owens, everyone loves Bella, you know. They've got plenty of matches where we can see them do crazy stuff, but the women, they deserved it, and they got it. It was labelled as co-main event. They should have even gone on last, to be honest, but I'm glad they didn't, because they got that extra time and they didn't have their match cut. So, all in all, holy shit, that was better than WrestleMania of this year. So, WWE, what are you doing? Up your game. SummerSlam better compete to that, because these guys are where it's at. So, everyone says NXT's the future. Like I read on Twitter, someone put, NXT is now. These guys are just killing it. These women are killing it. Everyone on NXT is amazing. I mean, Raw, SmackDown, they're nothing compared to NXT these days. 3-hour show versus a 1-hour show, and I'll watch NXT any day over those. Now, I love WWE, and I love a lot of the talent there, but they need to up their game, because NXT is just friggin' killing it. So anyways, thank you for watching my video, and hope you guys watched, or if you haven't watched it, please do watch it. Hope you like my little review, little talk. I just like to get all these thoughts off my head, because I'm just so pumped up and excited. So thank you for watching, and see you all next time, and stay tuned for SummerSlam. Bye!